Hello my dear learners. Today we are going to learn TYBMS Semester 5 Commodity and Derivative Markets. Let's start in the first module, that is the introductions of the commodity and the derivative market. Before to start the first topic, hi, my name is Meenakshi Kandari and I am the specialized in the financial and accounting. So then let's start the first module in the part 1, that is the introductions of the commodity market. The commodity, as you've seen this word in your economics textbook, generally it is related to the economy. Commodity is a tangible goods that can be bought and sold for exchange of product or the similar value. So the commodity is the interchangeable and the goods that is the bought and sold in the trading market. It's called the word commodity. So what is the properties of the commodity? The commodity is an intangible that we can be touch, we can use, and we can be see like that. Okay, and the first another, it is a property in the commodity, that is the fungibility. Fungibility means what? It is a uniform in the quality between the companies and that the produce and sold it. It means that कि जैसे कि आप refined oil रहते हो तो वो जो oil होता है वो refined होता है. So let's talk about the types of commodity. There are the two types of the commodity. The first one is the soft commodity. It includes all the agriculture products like pulses, cereals, plantations, fibers, sugars, livestock, oilseed, etc. And the hard commodity, it includes all the metals and the natural resources which is contained under the earth, like the metals include copper, aluminium, gold, silver, platinum, minerals like crude oil, natural gases, oil and powers, etc. Now, let's talk about the history and origin of the commodity market. The first is market evaluation of the global scenario. The world's first commodity arose from the agriculture practices, that is the crop production and the raising the livestock. As a trading developed, the producers and the dealers look for the way to preserve their price of their product due to the natural climates, conflict and the demand and supply on the prices. So the merchantly especially want to preserve their prices. So this is how they introduce the commodity first agreement. According to the Bruce Babe Code, commonly the future trade occurred in the 17th century. Japan and the rice future in the 6,000 years in the China. As per the USA, during the year in the 1800s, the agriculture's commodity is commonly in the grains. First American exchange in the 1845. This group of the broker is established a more efficient standardized methods of the exchange goods and the payment by creating the futures contract, more of the streaming and the process of the trading and the settlement. For example, after the 100 years, for example, that is 1940, soybean 1950, cottons and the livestock in 1960, 1970, the precious metal and the financial future, so on. So this is the witness of the fast growing of the commodity market in the entire world. The exchange of the commodity is occurred in the 1970s after the Britain War. It is to be widely accepted in the market, that is to be Nixon market, and after in the 21st century and the above advantage of the online trading system is interested in the commodity derivative market. Let's talk about the commodity market evolution in the Indian scenario. The commodity future market in India is predominated, remain under development as compared to the USA and the UK market. The comprehensive government attention in the agriculture's sector in the post-independent area is a major contribution. In fact, the productions of the several agriculture commodity is still regulated by the state government, and the forward as well as to be the futures trading have been to be the strongly formalized state with the rigorously regulated policy. So the government have to be the change the policies of the commodity market. Let's talk about the Indian commodity market in the year-wise evolution. 1875, the Bombay Cotton Trade Association Limited discontent between the broker and the merchant lead to the introductions of the Gujarati Vyapti Mandal in 1990. Cotton and the oil seeds. Now the Calcutta Hassans Exchange Limited and the East India Jute Associations was set up in the 1919 and 1927. The several other exchanges were to be established in the country and to be the course of the alternative trade in the diverse commodities such as the paper, tomato, sugar, jaggery, turmeric, potato, etc. In the December 1954, the Forward Contract Regulation Act was to be enacted by the expert committee which is headed by the A.D. Shroffs. In 1945, we notified that the Forward Contract Regulation rules in there. The Indian Paper and the Spices Trade Association in the Kochi in 1957 was to be organized in the future trade in the spices. In 1957, the first organization, the future trade in the spices, and after in 1966, the government has banned to the the future trade because of the several mass practices or price movement in the agriculture and essential commodity. The government is reintroduces the future on the selected committee as per the suggestion and the recommendations of the Khusro Committee in the 1988. After the recommendations of the Khusro Committee expanded its coverage of agriculture commodity along with the silver, the committee submitted its report in the September 1994, reintroduces the future contracted, which was banned in 1966. The government of the India is appointed an expert committee to the forward market under the chairmanship of Professor K.N. Khabra in the June 1993, following the introductions of the economic reform in 1991. The National Agriculture Policy 2000 is concerned with the external and the domestic market reforms and the disassembling of all the controls and regulation in the agriculture commodity market in order to the economic in the agriculture sectors. Under the Ministry of the Consumer Affairs, the Forward Contract Regulation Act was to set up in the 1952 and the Forward Market Commission was to establish in the 1953. Again, I repeat, this is very important year in the point of the MCQs in your TYBMS exam. Under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, the Forward Contract Act was enacted in 1952 and the Forward Market Commission was to be established in 1953. So currently the future market, the exit date in India are localized for the a specific committee. For example, the Kerala has to be the exchanges for the paper, the Ahmedabad for the castable seeds, and to be the Mumbai is the major for the gold, etc. So here is the detailed year-wise of commodity exchange evolution in the Indian commodity market.